Last one is this business about IEPA, which is now being held up in the courts. Worst case, you might have to refund $400 billion worth of tariffs. I don't know how the heck you do that in any orderly fashion. And after all, isn't trade policy part and parcel of foreign policy? And foreign policy is left up to the president. He is the commander in chief. I don't see how these lower courts can prevent the president from using IEPA, international economic emergency. He needs urgency and speed to rebalance the federal trading, the world trading system, which has been broken for years. What are you thinking about IEPA? And if the Supreme Court goes against you, do you have a fallback for IEPA?
Larry, I'm confident the Supreme Court's going to go with us, and let's divide the tariffs into two categories that the president has used his emergency powers on. One is the fentanyl tariffs. And if this fentanyl epidemic in the U.S. that's costing 200,000, causing 200,000 deaths a year, and then ruining people's lives, several hundred thousand on top of that, and that's coming across the borders, then I don't know what the president has authority to use if it's not for this fentanyl emergency. The second is with the reciprocal tariffs to bring down these massive trade deficits. As you and I know, in economics and markets, there's something called a tipping point, and my judgment, that as someone who's taught economic history, is that we were very close to the tipping point, and the emergency nature of it is we're close to the waterfall, and President Trump has taken us away from the edge. We're going back upstream to a safer place. We're going to move into balance. We've secured incredible trade deals for the American people to bring back manufacturing. And Larry, what's going unnoticed in these trade deals too is the other side. We put on 15, 20, 25% tariffs, and we're collecting substantial revenue. But the other way to get to balance is to make the other countries take down their tariffs on us, non-tariff barriers, subsidies, and U.S. companies are benefiting from that on their exports. I would expect to see a big increase in export due to the other side of the equation, which nobody talks about. And yes, we do have a fallback position. It's more cumbersome, and I think it limits the president's hands to do these great deals. We've got the Chinese who are willing to put in $550 billion in direct investment into the U.S. Koreans, a very large amount. And these trade deals are astounding. They're bringing in trillions and trillions of dollars. And what a shame, what a tragedy it would be to be overruled on this. But this is the president's signature policy. First he solved the border, now he's solving trade. And I think courts are very reluctant to overrule a president's signature policy.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. And as I said, trade policy is part and parcel of foreign policy. Foreign policy is the domain of the commander-in-chief. Supreme Court shouldn't get in the way of that either. Anyway, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, thanks very much for your time. Good luck.
Good, Larry. Good to see you.